Hello everyone, this is Jason from OnSong. I want to share with you one last thing that we've made some big changes to in OnSong 1.982, and that is MIDI integration. Now for those of you that have MIDI integration, you know that you could do awesome things like switch the song that you're viewing from Ableton or send MIDI signals out to your MIDI connected instruments to change patches or effects and all kinds of things you could do with MIDI, and we've made that even better in 1.982. So let me show you a couple things. First of all, if you come up here into the utilities menu, you can pick editors. Now normally you can go in here to the MIDI screen. OnSong is now listening for MIDI events that you would like to map to certain actions. You can now also use the new MIDI editor right here by hitting the plus button, so you don't have to have your keyboard send a specific event. You can just add it right here, and now you can also add a number of different MIDI events. For instance, control changes, program changes, notes. So for instance, if I want to listen for a specific note on a specific channel, I can now do that. So I can say listen for a specific octave note, maybe E3, and I want to map that to do something. I can say make that, capo down. I can do that now with OnSong 1.982. So the new MIDI editor is used throughout OnSong. So for instance, I can come in here. This is another feature that has just recently been added. I can go into the editors menu. I can pick navigation. Now what this allows me to do is not only assign MIDI, but I can also come over here to the screen tab and I can assign different hot corners. So for instance, if I tap in the upper right corner, not only can I do a number of actions in OnSong, but I can also send MIDI. So again, this is really powerful. If I want to simply send a specific control change, I can do that just by tapping the screen. So maybe I choose channel 3 and then tap on control, and I have a number of different options here, and when I tap on that hot corner, it's going to send that control change. It's going to toggle that on to MIDI 127. And of course we can also do that for foot pedals. If I want to assign a foot pedal to send a specific MIDI signal, I can do that as well. What we hear a lot of people want to be able to do is, first of all, send program changes or even some other types of information such as non-registered parameter changes from OnSong. And so normally you could do that through the song editor. I can come into the song editor, hit the metadata information menu here, and if I scroll down to the bottom, I can configure MIDI events through here. Now what that's going to do though is add it to my song content. But I can also now do this in OnSong 1.982. I can tap and hold the very top section, the metadata section of the song, and now I can add MIDI events to be sent when the song is loaded. So for instance, I might want to send a program change on all channels, and I could set, of course, my bank MSB and my bank LSB, most significant and least significant bits. I can test that command here, and when I'm done, I can just hit done. And now, as soon as I load that song, that program change is going to be sent. And so that's a handy feature because now you don't have to do it in the song editor. But here's the really powerful part. I can come in here to the first verse and do the same thing. So for instance, if let's say I want to send a different program to maybe my guitar effects board, I could say, switch to program 18. And when I hit the chorus, let me switch to a different program. So let's change that to program 8. So I could have my MIDI guitar effects board set up to have a clean sound for the verse and a distorted sound or overdriven sound for the chorus. And as I tap on each one of those sections, I can either tap on that section to send those MIDI changes, you can see that red bar on the left hand side, or I can also use something like an air turn foot pedal, and as I go through the song, it can change the section of the song, fire off my MIDI events, and scroll the song to where I need to be. So some very powerful features coming in OnSong 1.982. We will be doing a full MIDI overview and a full MIDI tutorial here in the next few weeks, so please stay tuned. We're going to go over everything that MIDI can do. Again, it is a very powerful add-on that can integrate with your entire stage. Thanks.